Yeah, nice to be getting a few bites. In fairness, oh, there's one, guys. Let's take a look. Fish on! Who've been commenting on my really old videos. And the reason they're commenting on the old videos is because I don't think they want people to see what they're saying because they feel embarrassed. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all well. Nice to be back down Barry, Jackson's Bay to be precise, or the White Light, whatever you want to call it. And this place is one of my old faithfuls, which in English means it's very, very special to me. I must have fished it in my life hundreds and hundreds of times, quite literally. Many, many fantastic memories. The more popular spot is towards the end of the breakwater, but I'm fishing here because this is where I used to fish on my dad back in the day, and that's what it's all about for me now, keeping those memories alive. Looks can be deceiving on camera, no doubt. It looks like a beautiful day. Well, I suppose it is a beautiful day, to be fair, but we got a very strong northeasterly wind. Up on the top it's blowing a gale, and also it's a couple of days after the floods. There's going to be a lot of fresh water out there in the channel. Will it be a factor? Who knows, but to be honest, I couldn't really care. I've not been fishing for ages. It's nice to be out again. I got a day off work. Happy days. And I'm off work tomorrow as well. Oh. We're fishing. Like I said, up here on the top, it's blowing a gale. I have got the windsock on the camera and I'll do my best to mitigate it. Although, I can't make any promises. On the left hand rod, there's a 4.0 pulley pennel. On the right hand rod, there's a 4.0 paternoster pennel. I got the cheapy old boat rod too. I'm going to stick a 2-hook flabber rig on that and we'll have a scratch around, see what's about. Nice easy session today. I don't take my fishing that seriously these days. Nah, those days are gone for me now. Medium-sized tide, we're around, I'd say we're around 5 hours off high water, so we've got a bit of time to play with. Bait wise, I've got squid, mackerel, fresh ragworm and a bit of frozen black lugworm. This is the first time I've been fishing in around 3 weeks, literally. I booked a day off work last week with the intention of making a video, bought all my bait, got all prepared, and the weather was atrocious. It absolutely hammered down all day long, very strong winds, and I thought, nah, that ain't gonna happen. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind going fishing in bad weather, but that was something else. That's sea fishing for you, and that's filming for you. Well, that's the cheapy old boat rod sorted. Walked back up the rocks and the line on this left hand rod was all slack. On this one, I've got a mackerel and squid cocktail. I'm just seeing if I can feed anything. I obviously missed a bite because I was down there faffing about. Nah, I'll check the bait anyway. Nah, I don't think that was a bite actually. The bait is in quite good nick. Must have been the weight moving. Damn, I got excited then. Something I wanted to mention was my last video, which I'm assuming most of you have watched. Not my confidence a bit, that did. Not my confidence. Like I've said many times, this channel is about the deeper side of angling. We talk about life, I film the scenery, etc. Put some nice music over the footage. That's what I do. That's the path I've taken, and I'm glad I've chosen that path. But I'm not gonna lie, it is nice when a fish turns up, and that day the weather was horrendous, and I was so obsessed with keeping the camera lens dry, you know, so that it wouldn't ruin the footage. I missed so many fish. Loads of congers out there. I reckon I dropped 4 congers. I could feel them on there. That first cast where I lost that Thornback Ray, I know it was a Thornback 100%, but just faffing about with the camera so much, and I wasn't concentrating on the fishing, and I got back to the car and I felt like, yeah, my confidence had been shot to bits, and it stayed with me for about 3 or 4 days. Yeah, it's a funny old thing. You start to question yourself. You know, I don't mind losing fish. It's part of what we do. And on this channel, I land some, I lose some, but that day I lost, yeah, lots. Whereas the video before, whereby I focused on the fishing, I landed quite a few. It just goes to show. Yeah, we'll get one. When that sun starts to go down, I'll put it this way, I'll be really shocked if we don't get a bite here. Something else I wanted to mention before I forget. It's quite important. I've had 7 or 8 comments of late, or thereabouts, from people who've been commenting on my really old videos. And the reason they're commenting on the old videos is because I don't think they want people to see what they're saying because they feel embarrassed. There's no need to feel embarrassed. So what they are saying is that the current state of this country is giving them anxiety and it's affecting their mental health. I 100% get it. I'm with you all the way. The reason I don't talk about it is because I don't want to get my channel deleted. And unfortunately, these days, that's what happens. But yeah, understand. I'm with you. If I can give one piece of advice, and I know this because I've done it myself, stop watching mainstream media, stop watching alternative media for a good couple of months. Have a media detox. You know, we talked in the past about having a digital detox, getting away from phones, laptops, screens and all that. About 2 months ago, I was getting really wound up by it all. It was upsetting me, making me angry. We all know what's going on. This country has gone to the dogs. And I thought, I need to stop watching all this stuff because, like I said, it's making me angry. And I have to say, I feel better for it. I still keep an eye on things. I keep an eye, but I don't get carried away and I don't get obsessed with it. I'm not glued to it, if you will. So yeah. But yeah, never feel embarrassed, you know. Get it off your chest. Look, most people in this country feel the same. They really do. But we live in an age whereby attempting to speak the truth, having an alternative view, means that you're somehow dangerous and weird. And that's really sad. Right down raw, guys. Nice bite. On there I got mackerel and ragworm, a big cocktail bait. I'm sorry about the glare bouncing off that rod tip. There's not much I can do about that at the moment. Oh, there we go, there we go. It's been going for a while, so let's take a look. Let's see if he comes back. Starting to get a few bites now. Obviously just had that bite then on the right down rod on the big bait, and a couple of nice bites on the cheapy old boat rod. Let's take a look. Fish on. What have we got? Oh. Oh well, I beat the blank. I'm sure there was something else on there on that top hook. Little pin whiting. Nicely hooked. Let's pop him back in. He's gone. Yeah, there's a bit of life out there now. That old sun going down. always the way. I think the bite I had on this right down rod, it looks a little bit conger-esque, and the hooks were a little bit twisted, so odds on that was a conger. Got another bite now on the small rod, pin whiting again I think, but could be some better whiting out there, and other stuff, who knows. Oh, nice to be getting a few bites. In fairness, oh, there's one, guys. Let's take a look. Fish on. Feels like a nice one too. Let's get my rag. There we go, a nice strap conger. Not as big as I first thought, but even so, yeah, he's around 4.5, 5 pounds I'd say. Once again, in beautiful condition, and once again, a lot of strength. Come on, my son. I know, I'm gonna pop you back now. How thick that head is. Glistening in the autumn sunshine. He doesn't want to pose for the camera. Let's pop him back in. Looks as though the whiting are getting bigger. Gradually, anyway. I can't see the front of the camera because of the glare, so this is all guesswork. Love the old whiting, one of my favourite species to catch. We're around an hour off high water. Bite the chuck now on the cheap little boat rod. As soon as that rig hits the water, bang, 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 bang. Yeah, stacks of whiting out there, stacks. There we go. Can you hear it? As for these two main rods, at the moment, on the left hand rod, there's a squid and mackerel cocktail. On the right hand rod, I'm not sure, I can't remember. Yeah, an hour off I. Let's see what happens. I'm going to fish until about an hour into the ebb, and then it's going to be a case of hitting the M4 and heading for home. I have to say, these days I'm not a fan of driving. Like coming down earlier on, the roads just carnage. So many people just don't care, no consideration for others. Yeah, it's tough to get that conger. I have to say, right, I do not know how I land fish like that on my own at marks like this, but I'm quite proud of the fact that I do. Like these rocks, they're a killer. They're not easy. But I tell you what I've done. I don't want to sound preachy, but this is what I've done. I've bought some wader studs. I got a pack of 50 off eBay. I think I paid about £8. And what you do, you screw them into the bottom of your boots, and that gives you a lot more grip. So before I left the house today, I screwed 6 into each boot. Makes a massive difference. Absolute godsend. Because these can be lethal, especially when they're wet, you know. It's quite dangerous. It's quite a dangerous mark to fish. But, oh, I got a pet rat over there. Yeah, so, thanks to those studs, you know, I was able to land that fish on my own. It's the same down Newport, you know, lots of the Newport marks are like this. And I go down there, you know, big conger or a nice thornback. And I sometimes think the worst. I think, oh, I'm going to lose it. Not that I want to sound negative, but those thoughts go through your mind, and then somehow you land it. Yeah, yeah, it's good. Yeah, like 99.99% of the time, I'm on my own when fishing. Very rarely I'll meet up with a friend, you know, and we'll have a session. But I remember when I fished Breen Down over in Somerset earlier this year, and I popped over with Mike and Matt, and of course you've got someone to land the fish for you. It's fantastic. It felt amazing. I've never experienced that. Well, I have, like, but you know. But yeah, when you got somebody to help you land a fish, oh my god, it makes a world of difference. But on my own, I kind of yeah, like with that conger, there was like a little gap in the rocks, so I kind of pulled it into that gap, walked down a bit further, and then I grabbed the line, and you know, I was able to retrieve him. I mean, look, that wasn't a big conger, as you saw, only about 5 pounds, maybe a bit less. And luckily that one I caught on the Eskimo last year, which was my best ever conger. That was into the 20s, I don't know, we'll say 21, 22 pound or thereabouts. Now that was off the marsh, and thankfully I caught that bang on high water, so the water was level with the marsh. Well, easy then, because you haven't got to lift the fish up. You can, you know, just put it gently onto the marsh. But yeah, these rocks, a lot of these marks, you know, they're not easy. Oh, I can tell you what, they keep you fit, mind. They're climbing up and down there all session. It's a cracking workout. Fish on. Right, let's go and land him. Ah, there we go. Species number 3, a small dogfish. I tell you what, he might be small, but he took a very big bait. They're not shy in coming forward. What a lovely thing. Let's pop him back in. Yeah, sometimes, right, it's nice to just stop and just take it all in. And as I'm talking to you right now, my mind is being transported back to the 1980s. Because when it comes to this mark, my fondest memories are from that period, or from that decade. And what always springs to mind when I think of Jackson's Bay, a jumbo pouting. And it's mad to think that back then, people classed them as a nuisance, but they were beautiful, they were huge. You know, all those stunning colours. Wouldn't bother casting, bit of ragworm, 10 yards out, bang bang, jumbo pouting. Yeah, there were loads along here, loads. But yeah, not so common now, unfortunately. Who knows, maybe I'll get to see them in the afterlife, or heaven, or whatever you want to call it. Of course, none of us know what's to come, but yeah, I believe in an afterlife. Yeah, obviously being quite a deep thinker. Yeah, each to their own, but that's my belief. Get to see Dad again. He's probably having a pint now, I expect. A pint and a rollie. Used to roll his own fags, you know, with tobacco. It's quite strange because, yeah, Dad smoked all of his life. I've never smoked ever. I've never even tried smoking. Yeah, but yeah, Dad liked a fag. That is stunning. Yeah, what a place. Yeah, I do like a beer now and then. Don't drink much, to be honest. I don't know, once a week, once a fortnight. Have a couple on the weekend. Wind down after a tough week at work. And why not? All in moderation. Oh. Whispered it quietly. The wind's dropping, at last. Although it is getting quite dark, so I'm gonna have to get the old night light out. Well, like the whiting, the doggies gradually are getting a little bit bigger. Let's get him unhooked. Now these things, absolutely brilliant. That's a sea fishing disgorger. That doggy, he took the hook quite deeply, but with that, no problem at all, and he's fighting fit. Yeah, he'll go back lovely. Again, I don't want to sound preachy because that's not what I do, but I would recommend carrying one of those. He's on good form, that seagull. Just past high water. As for the cheapy old boat rod, it's still a fisher chuck. I just pulled in 2 more whiting, but this time they were quite small. As for the 2 main rods, again, lots of bites, but the dogfish have moved in and they're out there now in big numbers. Strangely, no more congers. When I caught that one earlier on, I thought, here we go, we'll get a couple more. We still might, but I can't grumble. I've had a fantastic session so far. It's been really enjoyable. Yeah, like Newport, Barry has got a special place in my heart. Yeah. Yeah, doggy now. I will move the light now, guys, so you can see the rod tips. But I need a rest. Right down rod, right down rod. Come on, go again, go again. Always the way. You switch on the camera. How cute is that? A little baby conger. Absolutely magical. These days, I don't care how big or small the fish are. Just nice to see. Let's pop him back in. Right, I'm going to call it now. Time to pack up. Look, it's been a great day. I've really enjoyed coming back to one of my old faithfuls, and now it's an absolute pleasure to be here. When that wind dropped, it just transformed the place. I tell you what, it was a cold old wind too, that northeasterly, hence why I've had the old coat on. But yeah, quite a few bites, quite a few fish, quite a few missed fish. But then again, Riverside with me wouldn't be the same without a few missed fish thrown in for good measure. There's not much else I can say apart from thanks very much for watching. It's mega appreciated. Any questions or comments you have, pop them below and I'll get back to you. Until the next one, look after yourselves. Take care. All the best.